Okay, so today we are talking about how we are paid to solve problems. First off, this week is a break for me on coaching calls. So if you're my client, you know that we take a break on the last week of the month, and therefore I am on live with you guys right now. So I'm excited to do that. Hello, Life is Everywhere podcast. Yay! That is actually how I started, was through podcasting. I got a DM yesterday from one of my new clients. She asked me, hey, I'm going live. It's scheduled out the first week of February, and I'm terrified of public speaking. What do you recommend to kind of help me with that? Well, I told her, plain and simple, you have to practice. And how I practiced was through podcasting. When I used to work for my business coaching company here in the city, I literally would commute 45 minutes to go to the office. And during those 45 minutes, I was recording a podcast in traffic. Okay, in traffic. And it was probably one of the most fun I've had going to work. Like, it was like the best time of my day, doing the work and expressing myself and learning how to communicate. So anyway, podcast, what was it? Life is Everywhere podcast. Hello and welcome. Today we are talking about we get paid to solve problems. We get paid. Yes, that is actually how I train myself to speak slowly. Yes, awesome. So you're kind of like that fast speaker. Fast speakers think really quick. So they try to make it align, and a lot of people don't think fast, or if they do think fast, they don't hear fast. If that makes sense. Like, you can't, it's almost like you're thinking about the thing and then you're thinking about someone else talking about the thing, and then you kind of get lost in all the sauce. So I get it. I, on the other hand, kind of think normal. However, I had problems with putting it out in words. I would stutter and I would choose the wrong words. That made me sound like an idiot. Like I didn't know what I was talking about. I remember even joking around in high school. I couldn't joke around. Thank you so much, Lighter Boy 123. I couldn't joke around. I didn't know how to flame people. If that's what they call it. They call it that nowadays. Flame people. I didn't know how to joke. I had a best friend in high school who just knew how to talk. She knew how to, and guess what? Now she's a salesperson for like a beauty company because she knows how to talk and communicate. But in high school, I failed at communicating. So anyway, now as an adult, I do it for a living. However, I learned through podcasting. So anybody want to learn about public speaking, and thank you so much for the hearts, whoever is throwing up hearts. For public speaking, even for my new client who DM'd me yesterday, practice is everything. And the best way to do it, I personally think, is, Loretta, how are you? Good morning. The best way to learn public speaking, Loretta, is through practice. And how I did it was I did podcasting. But that is for another live. Today, though, we're talking about how we get paid to solve problems. How we get paid to solve problems. And in order for us to actually embody getting paid to solve problems, we need to learn to solve our problems. Right? And it's literally like, if we have a problem in our life, what are we going to do to solve the problem? What are we going to do? Now, I'm not saying you have to solve it yourself, but you have to, at some level, take accountability for the problem existing, number one. And number two, either researching who can help you with the problem and then taking action. So that's what we're talking about today. And the reason why it's so important to take this step is because if you want people to buy from you, if you want people to hire you to solve your problem or their problem, to solve whatever it is that's keeping them up at night, whatever it is that's causing them to feel icky inside, they have to learn that they have a problem and you can help them with that. So if you don't know me by now, my name is Maria Henderson. I am a spiritual business coach. I help spiritual entrepreneurs start and grow a profitable business, service-based business, and to really tackle all of the energetic blocks that come up with building a business. And we realize, even now, if you don't have a business yet and you're kind of like creating content because it's fun, or you are learning self-expression and like really owning yourself and being authentic, that's a challenge in itself. I know it was hard for me in the beginning. It took me a few years to actually be ballsy enough to be who I am today, right? And even the person I am today is ever evolving and ever growing into new forms of me. Okay? So what's the point? The point is that a lot of people will go into business and think, oh, I have a problem, or I can help solve a problem here for people, and then put out their services, and then that's it. And that's not the case a lot of the times. A lot of the times you have to do more than that. You actually have to do some work. You have to tackle the fear of sales. You have to tackle the fear of rejection. You might not even know how to create a program or a curriculum for a client to follow through with it. You might not know how to take your intellectual property in your brain and put it into paper or put it into a software so people can consume it. People can buy it from you and consume it. You might not know how to do that techie part, right? You might not really know how to operate all the tech stuff required if you wanted to do a virtual business. You might not be able to know how to sell yet. You don't know what to do in terms of sales. You don't know what the sales, like there's so many things when you go into a business. There's like a lot of steps. And I say a lot because I remember in the beginning when I started, all I wanted to do was get a client. So I'm thinking it's just one thing. Just get my first paying client and I'm good. But as I pulled back the curtain, I realized there's more than just the one thing, right? It takes a lot of things before you get that one thing. So there's a learning curve required when you start a business. So what does that mean? That means in order for us to actually get paid for what we do for people, for the thing that we solve for people, in order for us to get paid, we need to solve the current problem in our own business, whatever that looks like. If it is not knowing how to get clients, if it is not knowing how to articulate yourself effectively, if it is not knowing a sales process to take your prospects and leads through, if it is not knowing a marketing plan that works, if it's all these things, then that means you get to take accountability for that. And that's what we're diving into. So number one, the one thing you want to do to start getting paid for the problem that you solve for people is take accountability. Take accountability, right? What does that mean? I had a post up in, I think it was like a couple days ago or like last week. I've been reading this book by Tarv Eker, and he's like a wealth coach. He has a book called The Wealth Mindset. And in the book, he says that poor people think life happens to them. On the other side, he says that rich people says, I make life happen. You see the different types of ways you can look at life. And in order for you to see that you have full control of your life, you get to take a look at how you're perceiving how life is unfolding. Is it happening to you? Or is it kind of, is it happening to you, or is it happening because you are the person causing things to happen? So accountability here is a really big, it's a huge turning point in anybody's life. Anyone start taking accountability for themselves, they will start solving problems in their life. Period. That's just what it is. If you start taking accountability for what you don't know and actually seeing, well, what do I need to do to fix this? What do I need to do to change this? Opportunities will be led to you so you can have that happen. But if you're in that victim mode where you feel like life is just happening to you because you have bad luck, or you just are not worthy, or you just can't. Can't, won't, shouldn't, couldn't. Maybe I'll try, maybe I won't try. All of those things where it just kind of keeps you stuck. All those thought processes. That prevents you from moving forward. Accountability is so big. And I think it does get loosely thrown out here from people who don't take accountability for their own lives. They stand in front of you or whatever way they try to market, but they will say, hey, take accountability. However, they themselves don't take accountability. And the person who really does take accountability will actually see results in all aspects of their life. Relationship, financial, health, right? Health. Let's say you don't eat well and you have this really poor eating habit, right? And you kind of are just like, well, I can't. It's like I can't help myself, right? I can't help myself get through this thing. I can't help it. And in that, you are pretty much, again, playing a victim to your addiction, right? Now, I'm not an addiction specialist or anything like that. However, I do know when someone takes accountability for things, things start to happen. Things start to unfold. It kind of clicks. Something clicks. What clicked for me in my business was when I took program after program and I did not see results. And I spent thousands of dollars, and all of these people, these coaches that were selling these programs, they didn't seem special to me. They seemed like me. They just seemed like normal who just lucked out, right? Like they lucked out of really learning the system and making money. I have relationship problems. Okay, chat in the thing. Tell me more about what the relationship problem is. So when I was taking these coaching programs and I just felt like, what the heck am I doing? And why am I not making money? Why? I'm doing everything, right? I did everything they told me to do. Everything they told me to do. All the stuff. And then they make you do all these things because they're teaching you their process, right? However, what I noticed was that I would stop right when it was time to sell. The moment I got everything done and it was time for me to launch or put it out there and start making sales, I didn't go 1000% in. I put a pinky in, right? Kind of like, ooh, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I, that maybe I shouldn't, right? There's a question in here. Everyone what? Okay. So what happens here is that I stopped myself out of fear, right? This was a few years ago. I still was working at my business coaching company when I was doing all these different courses. I would even secretly watch these courses because I had earbuds, and I would put the earbuds in while I was working at my desk because that's how determined I was to make this happen, right? However, every time it was time to get into the sales aspect, my ass was like, I don't want to sell. Dolly, how are you? I miss you. Hope you're doing well. I don't want to sell. It's not going to work. I remember thinking, it's just going to flop. No one's going to want to buy it. And I didn't realize those are the things I was telling myself until I took a really real look into what was causing me this block. And at the time I didn't know it was a block. I just know that I stopped whenever it was time to sell. I stopped. So what happens with that? What happens with when you stop, when it's time to sell, what happens? Well, what happens is that you just invested into another program, and then when it's time to actually do the thing that scares you the most, you stopped yourself. All right? You stopped yourself out of fear. And when you take accountability, and that's why number one, we are paid to solve problems, number one is taking accountability, knowing that I stopped myself. And at the time, I knew that I stopped myself from selling. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes to make money. And I am going to ask people to do calls with me. And I had to do it my own way. I kind of like, really learned the 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 way that I felt like I needed to. However, I was on the field. I started putting myself out there a lot, like really, like crazy a lot. I used to um, be up till 1 in the morning looking for new people. Okay, while my partner was sleeping, my kids were sleeping, and me in the dark, just like, who is my next client? Who is my next client? Right? And that's how committed I was after I realized I stopped myself at the sales part. Because I just remember thinking, if these people who don't seem like extraordinarily smart, like they didn't go to fucking Harvard, they just look like they just were committed and they made shit happen, right? I can do that. If I just figured out how to get over my own self, I can do that. And so I did. I did it my way. However, it really got me through the fear of sales, the fear of all the things that whatever person told me to fuck off, right? And if you're my client, Dolly, you know how I feel about people telling me to fuck off. I don't need to say that here, but the attitude is that, well, bye-bye. Like, no problem. Roll it off your shoulders, right? And that's where I learned how to just allow things to kind of come off my shoulders instead of holding it in and making it mean something to me. And making it mean for me to quit, or making it mean for me to like go back to my day job, or making it mean to me that I am not good enough. That's the problem. We hold on to everything and we don't allow things to be let go. There's even, I believe that there are people who are holding on to 2021 results and they are still carrying that energy into 2022. Totally. Let it go. 2022, we're in a new year. New year, new energy. We're in a new retrograde. However, it's all new possibility, new creation, new connections, new people in your lives, right? New opportunity. And if it's not new opportunity, then you get to get out of your old network. This is what I did. Oh my God, guys, I did this thing earlier this year. I started a new Instagram. You can follow me. It is the same name. It's mariahenderson.biz instead of .co. But the reason why I did that was because I wanted to look at new reel audios. Because what I noticed that when I'm searching reel audios to use, because that's what, one of the things about reels is that you want to use the popular audios. I am noticing that I'm using a lot of the ones that other coaches are using from this account. Because I think the algorithm is only showing me like people I follow or people who interact with my content. And I don't want to use the same shit all these coaches are using. So I created a brand new account. Okay, you guys can follow me. It's the same kind of content. However, the purpose of it is so that I can find new Reels audio that is not connected to this algorithm, this account's algorithm. I don't know why I brought that up. But the point here is that if you are in the same network and you're still getting the same stuff, you got to get out of your current network of people, whether they're friends or family or you don't know them yet. Get creative on finding people, connecting with new people, expanding your network out in 2022. Figure it out. If you need to create a new account, to just jump back and forth so that you can find new Reels audio. That was my way of trying to, differentiate the audios I was using versus the ones that I've been seeing on my timeline. Get creative. That's how you get creative, right? Start solving problems. And that's how I solved my problem on finding the same fucking audio things on Reels. I just created a brand new spanking account, found awesome Reel audios that I think is cute. There's even one where they do this dance. I try to do it with my kids. Guys, I have no rhythm. I only have rhythm in this office chair. Like if I'm sitting here and then I do a little jam, I think I could do it. But I couldn't do it on my 2 feet. I look like a fool. Anyway, so number 1, take accountability. Take accountability. Number 2, you want to research who can help you. Who can help you with this problem? Okay, so I think in one of these books that I've read, and I think it's Think and Grow Rich, that or How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's one of those two. I can't remember which one. However, it's about a story on the Ford company. Henry Ford, right, in the 1900s, had a dream that he would make the first car, automobile, Model T. He had no clue how to put this shit together. He just had a damn vision. Homeboy was like, I'm going to put this vehicle together because we are no longer going to be riding in carriages with wooden wheels. We are going to be modernized America, right? A modernized world. So he had a vision that he would create the first automobile, create an engine that, burned petroleum. Okay, I sound like I know what I'm talking about here, but no. I just remember the story. And he had no clue how to put it together. He just was the visionary of the Ford company, the car company. 1900, okay? So what did he do? He enlisted scientists from all over the fucking place he could find. He hired hundreds of scientists to create this automobile, the engine, the first Model T engine. He has no clue how to put this damn thing together. He just knew scientifically he needed scientists to put this shit together. So he hired people. He would fire people if they didn't do it right, if they didn't get it done. And he would continuously hire people until the first car was created. Henry Ford, all off of vision, right? All off of vision. So for you, if you have a vision about your business, your life, how to create something out of thin air, nothing, and you just have that vision, you get to be a Henry Ford. You get to be that person who hires people to make this vision happen for you because it's that strong. So what's required of somebody in that magnitude to actually do that, obviously, is capital. But the first thing, though, is that desire, that like impeccable obsession. I had someone message or put a comment somewhere in one of these posts that I do, and I forget which post because I do so many, but she said, well, there needs to be a balance between your business and your personal life. There needs to be a balance. And I wanted to be like, right, like that was my phase. Because as much as I want to live in this place where, well, I created this business so I can have freedom. Like as much as I want to believe in that and really like fucking roll around in that theory, the truth of the matter is if you're doing this business, it's because it's fucking your love. It's your passion. It's your baby. It's the thing that when you see something inspirational on the TV, you immediately want to share it to your audience because you're obsessed. So if you're not obsessed, you might as well quit. If you're not obsessed about the thing, it's not strong enough for you. So that woman who commented and was like, well, there needs to be a balance. Well, that's probably because you have a day job. I stayed up till midnight last night trying to get this new program together that should have been out by January 1st. Okay, it's January, whatever it is, January 24th. So last night I was like up, doing all the stuff in the dark. Again, I'm in the dark with my salt lamp. Everyone's snoring. But the point is, I'm obsessed with making this happen. I'm obsessed with connecting with people. I'm obsessed. And you get to do the same. You get to be that same energy. Henry Ford was obsessed with making it happen. And look at him now. He is still around till this day. We drive his cars. We see him everywhere. Not him, but his name, right? We see it everywhere. And this started when? During the steel mill industry. Okay, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. but I just read a lot. That's the reason why I know this shit. But 1900s, we're in 2022. People still till this day drive Ford. People actually have copied his stuff, and now we have an array of car options because of Ford. But it was his vision that made it happen. It wasn't because he was smart. He just enlisted smart people for him to work for him. And the point I'm making here is you don't gotta be smart. You just gotta be obsessed. like in your dreams, obsessed, right? You're literally in your dreams just thinking about your business, obsessed. And if you're not obsessed, you're in the wrong business. Get in the business you're obsessed about. Because that will get you there. That will get you clients. That will get you alignment. That will get you meaning. That will fill your heart with love and healing. I'm a spiritual business coach for a reason. Because this business is healing me. It's healing me. It's like a trauma response. I read that somewhere, where my business is a trauma response. How powerful is that? It's a trauma response. Number 3, you guys, is take action. So, what do I mean by that? If you know you need help, if you know that you actually need somebody to build out the damn machine, or build out whatever the fuck, or give you clarity, or help you with something, take action. Start doing, calls with people. Start getting to know experts and make a decision. Make a decision. Come the 1st of February, you know who you're lining up with, and you know what the plan is. And you don't know what the plan is, but you know somebody knows the plan, and they're on your team. They're in your corner, right? And that is the best thing to do, is take action. No more sitting on the fence. No more woulda, coulda, shoulda. No more, limiting beliefs. What if I try and I fail? What if I make a fool out of myself, right? What if the worst things happen? I die, because I tried. People just get crazy. It's just so much mental things that happen that stop you from actually taking action. And you know what stops you actually is the mental stuff, but what's the ingredient that causes the mental stuff is time, right? From the moment the fear pops into your head and the time you allow it to fester, from the time you take action. Some people can do that in 5 minutes, a 5-minute fear funk. Some people will do 2 weeks of that, and they'll stall for 2 weeks in that fear funk. 2 weeks of losing momentum, losing inspiration. You're putting a counterintuitive thing out into the universe saying, hey, I have $1 million, but in the same breath, you're allowing this fear to fester for 2 weeks. You see how it's poison? Time. You can use time for you towards your business, or you can use it against you. And how you use it against you is to believe in the fear for the time frame that you're allowing. So it could be even a whole month that you're just sitting in this fear. So the question is, if you do that, who's in your corner? Who's supporting you? Who's cheering you on? Who's helping you through that? Because that's tough to do alone. That's really hard to get through. It's like a darkness that you're in, right? Who's there holding the fucking chandelier? Who's the beacon of light for you? So we did 3. We did take accountability to your research on who can help you, just like Ford did, and enlisted all these people to make this shit happen for him. 3, take action, right? Take action. Number 4, trusting the process is a really important thing. Trusting the process. It's hard to trust the process because we want to know what the plan looks like and the guarantee of it. We want to know that, hey, if I do this, am I guaranteed all of this stuff? And we're in a guaranteed society. We're kind of like in that guarantee, want that guarantee, right? The problem with guarantees in starting your business is that the guarantee is on you. Are you going to do the work? Are you going to go all in? Are you going to allow fear to stop you, or are you going to allow fear to fuel you forward. One of the best things that I've used with sales, the fear of rejection and the fear of like all of the fears with sales for me, was that I used it to pump my fucking gas. Like I used that thing, went to the fear gas station, took my car there, got premium, got the highest quality fear gas, and fueled my car with that fear because that fear lit my ass on fire. I feel like that's a bar. I need to drop a beat. The point I'm making is you can use fear to either fuel you forward or you can use fear to stop you. And fear is connected to trusting yourself. Can you handle it? Hey, if I fail at this one time, can I handle it? Can I handle it? And if you feel like you can't, well, that's something you get to work on. You get to work on the fear around allowing things to happen and trusting that if it didn't work out, what lessons did you learn? What lessons did you learn in that? What lessons did you learn in it not working out? And why do you think that the universe made that happen? What was the thing that held you back, right? And anytime you are held back, it's because of you. That's really the biggest thing. And again, it goes back to number one, taking accountability. If you held back on something, what was it? Was it the fear of rejection? Was it the fear of visibility? Was it the fear of worthiness? I can't go out there, imposter syndrome. And if you can recognize what the fear was, you can work through that fear. Take action. Trust the process. Lastly, guys, is support. Support. Who is in your corner during the times where things are kind of cloudy and mucky and hard? Who is in your corner? And who is supporting you in that? And are they energetically fueling you, right? Are they giving you insight and supporting you and helping you move through this funk that's happening? Are you able to see a different perspective because of the community or the person that you're connected to? The person or community you are connected to should fuel you forward. It should support you in your vision. It should not deter from your confidence, and it should not make you afraid, right? It should really cause you to be bold and courageous, because that's really what support's supposed to be. It's a support system. So who is in your corner? A lot of people go into entrepreneurship alone. They don't have a supportive family. They don't have a supportive spouse, right? And they may have friends and family that don't align with their vision and are more traditional and want you to be a traditional career person. And starting a business goes against all of those things, because that means you have to pay things out of your pocket initially. You are creating something that is of your own, and it's not, selling something else's stuff, right? So it goes totally against the traditional way of making money, and a lot of people look down upon that. So I understand that going into entrepreneurship is scary, but your support system gets to fuel you in that. Okay, guys, that, you guys, is my 5 things to help you start getting paid for the thing you help others solve problems for. So if you guys need support, if you guys want to have a chat offline, book a call with me. My link is below. Loretta, so excited to connect with you next week. Let me know if you have any questions at all this week. But that is it for me today. Have an amazing morning and afternoon, wherever you guys are at. And I will jump back on here in a few days. Mwah. Bye, guys. Facebook, we out. We out here. All right, Facebook, thanks so much for being here with me today. If you guys need help, support, questions, please respond to this live, or you can DM me. Have an amazing Monday. Lots of love to you. Bye, guys.